And so far he saw a ram with two horns. Later on the Archangel Gabriel will come and he says, the ram with two horns is the Medo-Persian, today is Iran, Medo-Persian empires. Remember always Medo-Persian has two horns, two seats, two origins, two names for the king. Is the king Darius and Cyrus, the same person, Medo-Persia. Okay, let's go on, let's move on, let's move on.
Ram represents two Persians?
No, this one ram with two horns.
Represents two Persians.
So far we don't know anything, but later on you will see that it represents the Medo-Persian Empire. It's one animal with two horns. The Medo-Persian Empire, even until, today is Iran. I mentioned, you know why it's Iran? Because the name Iran, they believe they are Aryans. They believe they are European Germans. You offend a Persian person if you tell them that they are Arabs. We are not Arabs, they would say. This is the country of Ahmadinejad today. This is the big threat in the world today. That country, it's a country composed by two origins. The Mede, from the Middle East, probably more like Arabs, and the Persian, who apparently is an Indo-Germanic people. So the country has two origins. I don't know much about Persia. I'm not an expert. This is what I heard from a Persian friend. The country has two origins. It's a country like Switzerland. Switzerland has three origins. Switzerland have Italian people, German people, and French people, and they are all Swiss. It's one country, but it has three languages. This country has two origins. And so far, what we see is one animal with two horns. There's always two. Remember at the end of the previous chapter, we say, this is Cyrus, which is Darius. The president has two names. There are many countries. South Africa is like that. You know, Kasulu, about South Africa a little? South Africa is African and is Dutch. And there are countries with two origins, with two different backgrounds. And I'm not an expert on this, but I'm just wrestling with this idea, one animal with two horns. Yeah, you want to say something?
Let me share. I know you feel that Darius and Cyrus are the same people because there are two kingdoms. In Ezra 4, verses 5, it says, and hired counselors against them to frustrate their purpose all the days of Cyrus, king of Persia, even until the reign of Darius, king of Persia. So it's saying that something happened, started at this reign and ended at that reign. And this is good. We're in the yeshiva.
That's good.
We share things because sometimes we have positions. We share them here, and all kinds of people will come and say, "Excuse me, but here's a passage."
We saw the problem in translating if it's wife or Belshazzar's grandmother. It's confusing. Look at we saw this. Look at the very last verse of Daniel, chapter 6. The writing on the wall. Daniel chapter 6:28. We saw this. So Daniel prospered during the reign of Darius and the reign of Cyrus the Persian. And I have a footnote. It says, or Darius is the reign of Cyrus. Darius, that is the reign of Cyrus. Some people believe, this is difficult, some people believe that Darius and Cyrus are the same person. Darius is the Mede name and Cyrus is the Persian name. This is a chronology that I kind of respect, but chronology of the restoration. First we have Cyrus. During Cyrus is Daniel in the lion's den, Cyrus chapter 1. In the first year of Cyrus, we saw this. And then Cyrus is going to allow us to come back, to rebuild. Cyrus is, remember in the Jewish Bible, comes Daniel, and right after the book of Daniel comes Nehemiah, Esdras and Nehemiah. So Cyrus allows us to come back and rebuild. We don't know much about Cambyses. And here is Darius the First. People say Cyrus is Darius, and Darius the first is another king. That's why we have problems. We have Ezra chapter 1, and then you have Xerxes or Ashurus. That is the book of Esther. But listen, I don't know if we can solve this problem.
Do you want to go through this? We can go through this and view a poetry if you want to, or we can just let it ride.
Let's look at chapter 8, and maybe we can do that. I'm not going to be in here next week, but maybe we can do that. It's my impression that when we talk about Persia, we always talk about two kingdoms made one. And they have two languages. It's the Medo-Persian. Remember in Daniel, according to the law of Medo-Persian, Darius couldn't do anything to rescue Daniel. And there is always these two origins of this kingdom. It's almost like Switzerland, like everything is in French, everything is in German, everything is in Italian. And so when we come here, even in the vision, it's an animal with two horns. So it seems to me that Darius and Cyrus are the same person with two names. One is a Persian name, the other is a Mede name. But I don't know. But let's go on with chapter 8. Okay.
I looked and saw the ram pushing and charging westward and northward and southward.
Okay, let's see. He's going to explain this, but he saw basically a ram with two horns. And this ram, we're going to hear in a moment the explanation, which is the government of Persia, Medo-Persian. And it's moving north, it's moving south, and it's moving west. Right? Can you read it again?
Yes.
So this is, we'll see in a moment the explanation, but I'm anticipating, I'm going ahead. What we have is the government of Iran moving toward Europe. Yeah, we have here a ram with two horns moving north, south, and west. It's moving toward Russia, it's moving toward, Africa, and it's moving toward Europe. It's not moving toward Afghanistan or toward China or Japan. It's moving on this direction. That's what we have. Or India. It's not moving toward India. That is a vision. It's a vision that Daniel has. Let's move on. Let's move on because
No beast could stand before him, neither could anyone rescue from his power. But he did according to his own will and pleasure, and magnified himself. As I was considering, behold, a he-goat came from the west.
a goat. I have a he-goat.
The king of Greece. Came from the west across the face of the whole earth without touching the ground.
Okay, let's see this one. First he's seeing this ram, and then he's seeing a goat. A goat, which we're going to see in a moment, which is Greece. It's the first time that Greece shows up. Remember these four governments. We've been talking about Persia, Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, Persia, and now Greece enters in the scene for the first time. What is Greece? Greece is the origin of the European community. Greece is where it started. So we're going to see the explanation that says that it's Greek. I'm running ahead. But it's moving to the east without touching the ground. I think this is going to be very important. Okay. Yeah. Let's go on. Yeah.
And the goat had a conspicuous and remarkable horn between his eyes.
Just one horn.
And he came to the ram that had the two horns, which I had seen standing on the bank of the river, and ran at him in the heat of his power. And in my vision I saw him come close to the ram, and he was moved with anger against him, and he struck the ram and broke his two horns, and there was no power in the ram to stand before him. But the goat threw him to the ground and trampled on him, and there was no one who could rescue the ram from his power.
What we have here, now we have the explanation in a moment, but what we have here basically, it's a war, a very ugly war, between Persia and Greece.